Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, aka Mr. Long Island, and each week we get together and we discuss issues and organizations that benefit the region, and we shine a spotlight on good things being done on behalf of fellow Long Islanders. This week our guest is Chris Crokin from Bethpage Federal Credit Union. Chris, thank you for joining us and welcome aboard.
My pleasure.
Bethpage Federal Credit Union, the former credit union for Grumman, and there's a reason I bring that up. Walk us through, though, before we get too deep into what Bethpage is all about, walk us through the big difference between credit unions and banks.
Sure. A credit union is, like we are, is a non-for-profit cooperative, and we're member-owned. So what happens is the profit that we make, we return back to our members in the form of better rates, better service. So really, we're all about our members.
And it's a totally different mindset. You know, a for-profit bank is just that. It's an operation for-profit, because you're a not-for-profit and you're member-owned, your fees are lower, there's no checking account fees, things like that?
We're in solely for our membership, so we want to take care of them in the best way we can. So we do that with service. We do that with, better rates, better convenience, that a lot of people are not aware of.
And there's also a mindset, and that's why I brought up the Grumman connection, because Grumman was famous for being a great company to work for and a great corporate citizen. And Bethpage has kind of accepted that mantle and moved forward on that. For instance, you're very involved in Island Harvest, for instance. Mm-hmm. Talk to us a little bit about that, how that's different.
Sure. We were the exclusive credit union of Grumman. And then, so from 1941 up to 2003, our charter opened up to the island. So if you lived, worked, worshipped, or went to school on Long Island, you had the ability to become a member of Bethpage. But we were the exclusive financial institution for Grumman employees to take care of them as members.
So you're able to expand the net, so to speak. And when you say you become a member, you really it's a technical term. It's just you go to the bank, you fill out a form, mm-hmm. and you're part of the group.
Correct. If you have a $5 share account or $5 savings account with us, that would give you the access of anything Bethpage, whether it's a loan or even be counseled by our financial counselor.
And I want to get back to, because Bethpage does such a terrific job of being a corporate citizen. I know, like Thanksgiving, for instance, you work hand in hand with Island Harvest. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Correct. Yeah. Well, for many years, we've had a great one of many partnerships. We created the Turkey Drive, mm-hmm. with Island Harvest. Last year, 2,500 families were benefited from the efforts of Island Harvest, the community, volunteers, and Bethpage employees.
Well, it's funny because they had the collection was in the parking lot at the Bethpage corporate headquarters, and there's so many Bethpage employees that look like they were having fun, which I think really reflects well on the organization.
It was genuine, enjoyment to help others. It's the gift that keeps on giving there.
And branch-wise now, obviously you started in Bethpage and you're in throughout Nassau and Suffolk County?
There's 33 branches in between Elmont and Riverhead and everywhere in between.
And also, because you're a credit union, you can use like the ATMs at 7-Eleven without fees?
Correct. 7-Eleven, King Cullen, CVS, Walgreens on the island. And even outside of there, you have 30,000 ATMs across the U.S.
And just to be clear, anything you can get from a bank, you can get from a credit union.
Correct. More or less, we have everything that a bank has. We look, taste, and have everything a bank does with the exception of a student loan.
Oh, that's interesting. Car loans, business loan. Now, you also just started a business, so we're going to get into that, the corporate
Sure.
aspect of it. But, we're going to take a quick break. But that was great. I'm glad you explained to us because, I'm sure you hear it all the time. What's the difference between a bank and a credit mm-hmm. union? And I think it's something if people had better knowledge of that, they'd be more comfortable going to a place like Bethpage. This has been Ask Mr. Long Island. I guess is Chris Crokin. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about Chris's program working with small businesses on Long Island. You're watching Ask Mr. Long Island.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Blue. We're having a great time and ready to introduce a new show to you, Journey into Awareness, with Dr. Richard Cherney. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, Corinne. How are you?
I'm doing great. You have us laughing, but we have very serious topics to discuss on your show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Journey into Awareness is kind of the brainchild of me and my inspirational thoughts one day. After I finished publishing my book, The Little Engine That Did It, someone approached me about promoting myself and my journey. So that's how it evolved. Journey into Awareness is about self-discovery. It's about tuning into your inner self. It's about what we all do that inspires us to keep going and chugging along like a little engine, so to speak. So that's what this is about. And I interview people about their journey and what empowered them to be where they are. Who inspired them first? Because we all have mentors.
Yeah.
So I talk about that with them. And I've had some very compelling guests on my radio show, on Blog Talk Radio. And now we're going to have compelling guests on the Daily Blue.
Very exciting. Now I know that you have a very special guest that will be joining us, and his name is Piglet.
Yes, she is a service dog that belongs to my girlfriend Jamie Lowe, who is also my co-host for Journey into Awareness. And she lives in San Diego, and I live here, so we have a bi-coastal relationship. And the two of us interview the guests together.
How fascinating.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
we really look forward to seeing you on the Daily Blue. And of course, if you want to be a guest, if you could give us some input and you would like to have a conversation with Dr. Richard, please give us a call, 631-761-9223, and look for Journey into Awareness on the Daily Blue.
Welcome back to the second segment of Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, a.k.a. Mr. Long Island. Our guest today is Chris Crokin from Bethpage Federal Credit Union. Chris, we just started to talk about we explained what the credit union is, but now we're getting into working with small businesses. Tell us a little bit about what you do in the program that you're overseeing.
Sure. So the program is Bethpage at Work.
Mm-hmm.
What that is we take Bethpage into corporations on Long Island. And what we do is we use education as the catalyst to have seminars, whether it's about credit, budgeting 101.
When you say education, you're talking about meeting with the employees?
Correct. So
Okay.
employees come down for lunch, and then we happen to have a seminar set up to educate them, uncover needs of how we can help them out, and then we connect them to solutions that Bethpage happen to have.
And what are some of the topics that you go over in these seminars?
Sure. The journey through the home and refi process.
Okay.
Buying a car. Budgeting 101, credit is a very popular one.
So you're creating an environment where people can learn about things that they need to know, but they're not quite sure where to go, and there's no pressure, there's no sales pitch or anything like that?
Exactly. We take the convenience right into their workplace. A lot of people on Long Island are very busy. They don't really get out too much because they're working 1 and 2 jobs, so we take that convenience right into their corporation.
And now you were kind enough to come down, and I run the Long Island Links organization. The Links organization, it's an association for young professionals. You came down and did a great presentation about maybe an hour on mortgages and financing. Walk us through that a little bit. What would be a typical presentation?
Sure. Well, whether you're 16 or whether you're 70, it doesn't matter. A lot of people don't know the understanding of what's in a credit score.
Okay.
And credit is a very important attribute of whether getting a job or getting a lower rate and putting money back in your pocket, whether you're buying a car or a home. So we walk them through really the nuts and bolts of what goes into a credit score and how it really applies to them, making it very interactive with the employee or the member, and really tying it back to a solution to help them out.
One of the interesting things I was thinking about, one, I wish I had attended that 30 years ago. It would have done me a world of good. But two, by being familiar with those topics, with credit ratings and savings, it kind of takes a lot of stress out of your life, because if you have that handled, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, education is a key element, and when you present it in a way where it can help someone, maybe they didn't know something about credit, utilization, carrying balances on their credit cards could be 30% of their credit score. That could be very eye-opening. It could be the difference of a person saving $300 a month on their mortgage or not.
And well, that's a great point. Also, just paying your bills on time, how that impacts your credit score.
Sure, which would be 35% of their score. So actually, tying everything back to the facts instead of guessing at what it is. That's a very important key to making sure that you're on the right path.
Now, Bethpage is also venturing into commercial loans and financing for small businesses. Are you involved in that, or can you talk about that a little bit?
We are definitely, I'm definitely involved in the networking aspect of that, connecting people who are interested, for a commercial loan product or a business banking product, right to that channel, and then, helping them out.
Well, it's kind of interesting, just to complete the circle. At one point, Long Island was a company town. You either work for Grumman or you work for somebody who worked for Grumman. Now we are a region of entrepreneurs, and 70% of the businesses on Long Island have 10 or fewer employees, and who best to serve them but the credit union that used to serve Grumman. So that's tremendous. Is there a website that people can go to if they're interested in learning more about your program, or how would they get in touch with you?
Sure. My email would be the best way to get in touch with me if you're a corporation looking for that opportunity. So it would be ccroken@bethpagefcu.com. And you can also visit our website for more information as well, bethpagefcu.com.
And just to be clear, it doesn't have to be a big company. It's a small company. Is there a minimum number of employees you're looking to educate?
Sure. Usually 100 plus is our target market that we go after. But obviously if you have an opportunity for us to educate, we will do that.
And you go to the facility?
Correct.
Yeah, it's a tremendous program. Chris, thank you so much for being here. And thank Bethpage for all the great things you do for Long Island. It really is. It's just a tremendous corporate citizen, and we're really proud to be associated with them. So thanks for being with us today.
Appreciate it very much.
You've been watching Ask Mr. Long Island. My name is Michael Watt, a.k.a. Mr. Long Island. Our guest was Chris Croken from Bethpage Federal Credit Union. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.